Okay, class, let me continue with our discussion of the Constitution. This time, let's talk about the Philippine Constitution 1987. Okay, so before talking about the content of the 1987 Constitution, just to give you, okay, a brief, okay, history when our Constitution started. Okay, so the first one in our history, I already mentioned this, but since we are talking about our Constitution now, it's good that you will know. So, 1897 Constitution, okay, the Biak Nabato Constitution. So, it was the first constitution enacted, and that was under the leadership of General Emilio Aguinaldo. Before they signed the Treaty of Biak Nabato with Spain or the Spanish government. Then, Emilio Aguinaldo returned here in the country in 1898, where after the declaration of Philippine independence, in June 12, 1898, nagkaroon ng Constitutional Convention. Then, in January 1899, here comes the Malolos Constitution, where Emilio Aguinaldo became our president. So, the first president of the Philippines. And then, here comes the American regime. So, after the Tidings McDuffie was approved by President Roosevelt, then, nagkaroon po tayo ng Constitutional Convention in 1934, headed by Claro M. Recto, and then in 1935, nagkaroon na po tayo ng 1935 Constitution, which following that was the first presidential election in our country, where the President and Vice President Manuel L. Quezon and Sergio Osmeña Sr. were elected respectively as President and Vice President. And then, in 1942, during the Spanish occupation, since we want also to establish another government, a Japanese-sponsored government, which was known as the Second Philippine Republic, then nagkaroon ng convention to create a new constitution, to set aside the 1935 Constitution. And therefore, in 1943, a new constitution was approved, which Jose P. Laurel became our president of that Japanese-sponsored government with the 1943 Constitution. Then, of course, the Third Philippine Republic, where that Philippine Independent Republic from Manuel Rojas to Ferdinand Marcos used the 1935. So set aside yung 1943 back to 1935 Constitution. Then, September 21, 1972, under Proclamation number 1081, then nagkaroon po ng martial law. Then, of course, the agenda of that was to create a new society and amend the Constitution. Therefore, in January 1973, a new Constitution was enacted, promulgated, and approved by then President Ferdinand Marcos. So this 1973 Constitution was used during martial law and fully implemented in the Fourth Philippine Republic in 1981 to 1986. And because of the result of the election, in the snap election of 1986, Laban ng Bayan made a large protest against the Marcos. Then, of course, this EDSA People Power Revolution create a de facto government. Then Cory Aquino became our president, and therefore the 1973 was abolished and came up with the 1986 Freedom Constitution. But of course, it was not enough to officially create a new republic. Then, nagkaroon ng Constitutional Convention, of which in February 1987, here comes the 1987 Philippine Constitution, of which this Constitution until today, present administration, still the same Constitution that we are using or being used as the fundamental law of our country, especially in our state and government. So, as far as our 1987 Constitution, so it has what? 18 articles. Okay. And it provides presidential system of government. That's why yung head of the state natin and government is the president. And the same time, it also provides bicameral Congress of the Philippines. What does it mean? So it means that our Congress is with two houses, the upper house, the lower house, or the Senate and the House of Representatives. So that's why we have the senators and the congressmen. And of course, the third branch, which is the judicial department, of which judicial department under the leadership of the Supreme Court is independent from the two other branches, the executive and the legislative. So therefore, the principle of separation of powers is being used and implemented. So, the basic principles underlying the 1987 Constitution are the following. Okay? So, no need for me to enumerate all of them. Okay? Nandyan na yan. It recognizes God, sovereignty of the people. Okay? And of course, it is actually class provided in Article 2. Okay? Section 1, sovereignty of the people, the power of the state resides in the people. No war as much as possible. Then civilian at all times is supreme than the military. That's why the president is the commander-in-chief and civilian in authority. And of course, the separation of the church and the state. So therefore, class, talking about this, state shall not interfere with the religious affairs of the church, nor church shall interfere, okay, the political affairs of the state. Okay. Then, recognitions of the importance of the family as basic institution, the role of the youth, and of course, the role of the women. Then, importance of human rights, even the importance of education, and of course, the importance of suffrage. That's why there is always election. And this coming 2022 is the presidential, national, and local election. Then the separation of powers. That's why the three branches are independent from each other. Then, of course, our Constitution guarantee local autonomy. What is that? No, we are having unitary system in the country, but as far as our Constitution is concerned, okay, Section 25 of the Constitution, Philippine Constitution, provides autonomy to the local government unit. Then, of course, Article 11 of the Constitution, public service, morality, and accountability. That's why there is what we call public office is a public trust. Accountability of the government officials. And that's the reason why there is Sandigan Bayan and Ombudsman. Okay? Then, of course, our Constitution also nationalize, okay, the natural resources and, of course, the private enterprises for public interest. So that's, what happened to the ABS-CBN. Okay. Then, of course, the non-subility of the state, meaning to say the state cannot be sued without its consent. So the president as the head of the state, then the president cannot be sued during his term. And the rule of the majority. Kasi may rule of majority. Balikan natin yung number 2. Sovereignty resides in the people. So the people will be the one to decide. Then, government of laws and not of men. So, our government shall be followed, shall be implemented. We are governed by laws. We have to follow the law, but not men. We are not controlled by men. Those government officials and the police officers are also, same with the civilian, will follow the law because we are governed by laws, especially the 1987 Constitution. Now, as far as our Constitution is concerned, it has a preamble. And what is preamble? Preamble is defined as the introduction of the Constitution. Not only Constitution, but any other laws or statute. Preamble is derived from the Greek word preambulare or preambulary, which is to walk before. That's why it is technically defined as the introduction of the Constitution. But is it essential part? No, of course not. Technically, it is not. Meaning to say that the Constitution may exist legal without the preamble. But it is good to have preamble because it gives an insights about what? The objective of the creation of the Constitution, like our Constitution. Okay, so yan po yung preamble natin. So you can read on that. Okay, I already mentioned its purpose. Okay, then of course, Article 1 of the Constitution is Philippine National Territory. It explains, okay, to us Filipinos, as citizens of the Republic, which of course we have to know, that our Constitution provides the composition of our national territory. And it says that Philippines is an archipelagic country. Yes. And what comprises Philippine territory? The Philippine archipelago with all the islands, waters, embraced therein. So that's why, mula Apari hanggang Holo-Solo or Tawi-Tawi. Part pa yan. Okay, and of course, it says water. So all the water connecting all the provinces or islands is formed part of the Philippine territory. Now, is it only the archipelago and the body of waters within? Of course not. It also says all other territories over which the Philippines has sovereignty or jurisdiction. So that's why, class, if you look at the PowerPoint, okay, so there is demarcation of the archipelago going out under international law or UNCLOS, United Nations Law of the Sea. It is provided that the Philippines may extend to 12 nautical miles away as its what? Territorial sea, subject to its defense. And furthermore, under international law, up to 200 nautical miles as its exclusive economic zone. Diyan po tayo nagtatalo of China as far as the West Philippine Sea, Spratlys. Kasi yung Spratlys within ng exclusive economic zone natin, 200 nautical miles, but at the same time, sabi naman ng China, in their 9-9, it is also within. That's why there is an overlapping between China Sea and the West Philippine Sea, South China. So that's why, class, kailangan diplomatically, it must be resolved bilaterally between China and Philippines without war. Just using the resources, share, no war. Okay. Then Article 2, the Declaration of Principles and State Policies. Okay, as what I have mentioned, so nandiyan na yan, there are 6 principles and 22 policies. Okay. Then, of course, the Bill of Rights. So, talking about the Bill of Rights, it is even provided in the Philippine Bill of 1902. And of course, nandito na yan sa law natin, sa constitution natin. And what is Bill of Rights? Of course, it is also known as Charter of Liberties, which it enumerates the basic rights of each person. And it is designed to protect from the government abuses. So, purposely, itong Bill of Rights Article 3+, kung gusto nyong malaman yung rights natin, nandyan po lahat. It is designed in order to enumerate for us to know and to protect our rights, these rights from the abuses of the government. So this Bill of Rights limits the power of the government, especially yung tatlong inherent powers: police power, eminent domain, and taxation. Article 4, citizenship. So, is it important? Of course, because it is the identity of every person as politically member of the state that enjoys all the rights and privileges, including political rights, like the right to vote. Okay. And of course, it is also where that the person will be recognized by the state as its member and subject to the protection of the state saan ka man sa mundo, hindi lang sa Pilipinas. So, talking about citizenship, it is politically defined as the membership of every person into the political body of the state. Okay. And how a person acquires its citizenship? Of course, Diyos sanggeni by blood, Diyos soli by place of birth, and of course, by naturalization. If one person like Filipino who wants to acquire a new citizenship, okay, from other country, then the Filipino or that Filipino shall apply for naturalization. So therefore, class, there are two types of citizens in our country: the natural-born Filipino and the naturalized Filipino. So yan po. Can citizenship be lost? Yes. If a person or a Filipino goes to another country and acquired that country's citizenship, then okay, yung kanyang yung kanyang citizenship of the Philippines will be freeze. Okay. But not being a Filipino citizen, citizen pa rin siya ng Pilipinas. The citizenship, the membership into the political body. Okay. Then, of course, suffrage. Ano ba itong suffrage? Of course, the right to vote. Kung malapit na po ang election, then soon, if you are a registered voter, then you can vote this coming election. Suffrage. It means the right to vote. Okay. So, talking about suffrage, is it only for election? Of course, not, class. It also includes plebiscite, referendum, recall, and initiative. Okay. But the most use of this suffrage or right to vote is during election. But again, there are 5 electoral processes where suffrage or right to vote is used: election, plebiscite, referendum, recall, and initiative. So who can vote? Okay, so of course, you must be citizen of the country, at least 18 years of age, living in the Philippines for 1 year, and of course, not otherwise disqualified by law. Okay, so yan po yung requirements to express or exercise the right to suffrage. Okay. Then here comes the three branches of the government: the legislative department, and the executive department, and the judicial department. So as far as the legislative department, as what I've said, our Congress in the Philippines is a bicameral Congress composed of the Senate and the House of Representatives. All members shall be elected by the people. And class, I will no longer enumerate what are the uh, requirements, okay, or qualification to become a senator or a congressman. So it's a matter of reading, class. So you have to read on that. So what's the function, the main function of the legislative department? Of course, it is vested the so-called legislative power. And what is this legislative power? The power to enact laws, and at the same time, the power to amend the law or laws. Okay. Then, of course, there are also other functions of the legislative department, like Congress to conduct investigation. So just like what happened now in the upper house and the lower house. But it should be done purposely in aid of legislation in order to make a law, not to become, popular, by the way of, questioning and even insulting. Okay. The informant or these people being investigated. Okay. And of course, they have the power to create law on taxation. Okay. And of course, they have also the power to impeach impeachable government officials. So it is vested in the Congress. And as far as franchises of private enterprise, it is not the president, it is the Congress. So therefore, as far as, for example, itong ABS-CBN, it is the Congress who has the power to approve their franchise or not. Okay. It is vested in the Congress. Okay. Now, how about the executive department? Of course, office of the president. So when we talk about executive department, it is all about the president. Unlike Congress, not only it is bicameral, it is also a collegial body. It means to say that the powers are shared by all members of the Congress. But in the executive department, it's different. It's not collegial, but only one. So when you talk about executive power, it is the president, not even the vice president. Not even. Huh? So as far as the power of the executive, Article 7, lahat po yan sa presidente. The only purpose of the vice president is for presidential line of succession. What is that? Pag mawala na yung presidente, mamatay yung presidente, mag-resign yung presidente, enable yung presidente, then the vice president becomes the president. But pag functional yung president, ano yung vice president? Ay wala. Okay. So, yan. The executive power is vested only to the president. Okay. So the president shall be elected in one term, 6 years. Okay? So yan po ang term ng presidente natin. And as far as qualifications, again, it's up to you to look into that. So the president and vice president, okay, is of the same qualifications, but not the same term, because the president under our constitution will serve only one term with 6 years, no re-election. The vice president, 2 terms, 6 years per term. So Robredo can still run for vice president. But now, she wants to run for president, then be it. Okay. Now, judicial department. Of course, talking about judicial department, so let's talk about Supreme Court. Judicial power. What is judicial power? It is the power to apply the law in settling disputes. It shall be exercised by the Supreme Court down to the lower court. So that's why, class, when we talk about Judicial Department, Trial Court. So ano yung highest court? Supreme Court. Ano yung pangalawa? Court of Appeals. Then the Regional Trial Court. Then the Municipal Circuit Trial Court, City Court, and Municipal Courts. Okay. So yan po ang structure ng Judicial Department. And talking about members of the Supreme Court, okay, unlike members of the Congress, they were all elected or are all elected. President and Vice President elected. By the way, the cabinet secretaries, class, they are not elected. They are appointed by the President, whose term will be same with the President or at the pleasure of the President. For the judicial branch, all the judges, justices, up to the members of the Supreme Court, there are 15 of them, there are all what? Appointed by the President. In case of vacancy, Judicial and Bar Council will be the one to prepare the list to be submitted to the office of the President of those qualified candidates for the President to choose. So who will appoint, who will choose? The President. But can the President remove the members of the Supreme Court? No. It is through impeachment, like the President and Vice President. Okay. So what are the powers of the Supreme Court? Then it's up to you, class. When I say it's up to you, because our course is what? Readings. So therefore you have to read. Okay. So the powers of the Congress, powers of the President, and the powers of the Supreme Court. Okay. So the Supreme Court is headed by Chief Justice and 14 Associate Justices, all appointed and removable by impeachment. Okay. Now, the Constitutional Commission, of course, there are three important commissions provided in our Constitution or established in our Constitution, class. These are what? The Civil Service Commission, which known as the Central Personnel Agency of the government. That's why you cannot work in the government without government eligibility. It's either you will pass the board exam or you pass the civil service exam. Who will conduct the civil service exam? In the Civil Service Commission. Okay. Then, the Commission on Election. Of course, ngayon, okay, grabe yung trabaho ng Commission on Election ngayon because malapit na po yung presidential, national, and local election. It will be May 9, 2022. And of course, the Commission on Audit or COA. So, ito yung Central Accounting and Auditing Office of the government. So, they are the one that will implement the rules of how the government money shall be spent. Okay, in procurement, okay, buying equipment, facilities, just like now, there is an issue. Okay, and COA must explain it to the public, whether or not it is correct, okay, especially, for that issue right now. So, it's COA's report. Okay. So, pag sabihin ng COA na walang problema, di walang problema. Okay. So, what's the purpose of having Commission on Audit? Then, of course, Article 10, yung local government. So, that's why, class, the election next year, it's not only for President, Vice President, Senators, and Congressmen, and the party list, by the way, dalawa yung party list yung representative natin sa lower house. My district representative, those who are elected in the district, and party list. Okay. So like yung mga co-op natko, okay, Anak Pawis, for example, Gabriela, etc. No? So, yun, mga party list yun. Okay. Then, of course, local government. Okay. Kasi sabi ng Article 2, di ba? Section 25. Okay? That there should be local autonomy. And therefore, Article 10 provides the different political subdivision of our country, the existence of the local government units or LGUs. So, Republic Act 7160. O ito, class. So, ano ba yung mga political subdivision? So, yung provincial government, city government, municipal government, and the barangays. Okay. Of which, yung mga government officials are not appointed. They are elected. Okay. With 3 terms each. So, from provincial governor to the kagawads in the barangay, 3 terms po yan. 3 years per term. Yung sa barangay, with the Congress and the President will say, extend natin, then it can be extended by a law. Okay. But as far as the term is concerned, it is the same. 3 terms. So why there is local autonomy? What's the purpose? What's the rationale? In order to have a better management and service, okay, to the people. So hindi kailangan maghintay pa yung local government sa taas. That's why, class, yung presidente natin, nag-propose mo siya ng federalism to make the local government more independent from the national government. Okay. So yan po, no? The existence of the local government unit. Okay? Then of course, yung sabi ko kanina, public office is a public trust. Accountability of the public offices. So therefore, under our Constitution, there is that declaration of public accountability. There is the standards of public accountability that all government officials elected or appointed shall serve the people with utmost responsibility. They should avoid conflict of interest. It should not be for fame, power, or wealth, but public office is for public service. And prohibition of graft and corruption, malversation of public funds, abuse of power and authority in the government service for the benefit of the people. So that's why there is Ombudsman, Civil Service Commission, and Sandigan Bayan. Okay. Then, of course, the remaining articles. So, Article 12, National Economy and Patrimony. Then, Article 13, Social Justice and Human Rights. Then, Article 14, Education, Science and Technology, Arts, Culture, and Sports. Then, of course, our Constitution also provides family because according to Article 2, family and Article 15 at the same time is the basic unit of the society. No? Basic unit. Walang sosyalidad pag walang family. Okay. That's why the government shall protect the life of the unborn children from conception. Manang wala tay law here in the country, abortion. It is not allowed. Okay. And of course, labor also, we have to remember that labor is the basic social economic force of the country. Manang kailangan may trabaho, may sweldo, may protection. So that's the reason there is Department of Labor and Employment and the National Labor Relations Commission. Then of course, the general provisions and the methods of amendments, as what I have mentioned, that the Constitution shall provide the methods of amendments of the Constitution itself. And last but not the least, the transitory provision of the Constitution. So therefore, class, okay, if you want to know more each articles, then I want you to read all this in preparation of our final examination. That's all. Thank you very much.